Hello friends, I'm here with the fabulous Shayla, and we are going to do her nails today. So this is what she had going on. So she had purple cat eye. Did you enjoy the cat eye?
Oh, I loved it, darling.
Yes, it's fairly pretty. So, and we are going to do my nails on her today. So if you want to see how I did mine, stay tuned. So I have a couple people that had asked how to do some stuff, and I'm going to attempt to remember all the things. Sorry about the fan. It's going to be noisy for a few minutes. I did have some people want to see from this angle a little bit more, so I'm going to attempt to do from this angle for you guys. Yeah, cat eye's cool, huh?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And I use a foot pedal, so as I go around the sides, I slow it down, and then around the cuticle, I feather. So I'm actually pushing up towards the cuticle. I'm not making a line like that. That's how you create rings of fire. And I'm just using this coarse sanding band. You can get these on their website. They remove really well. I'm just going relatively slow. I don't want to remove a ton, but I'm reshaping to remove her arch back here. So when I add product, I'm going to be adding a good amount of product to this portion of the nail because I want to keep her arch continuing on. And we don't need to take up too much length today. Let's move it up a little bit more. There we go. So, cornea is better.
You guys know it's always something. I had an urgent care visit from one of my sons who has a corneal abrasion, but now he is back and ready to play Xbox, which is the absolute measurement of how well your child is.
So the other one had a scrape out, which is great, and he's healing very well.
Absolutely. February 9th is his post-op follow-up, and then at that appointment they'll determine if they can sign off for him to get his neck wet, and we will be scheduling him for swimming lessons. The only thing he wants to do in the world is go swimming.
So cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you've been told your whole life you can't go swimming, you're going to want to go swimming.
Right. So I'm going to record it because a lot of people have been on this journey with us. So I'll make sure people get to see it because he's going to be all wet, but it's going to be probably more tears than the water. He'll be so excited. Have you had the extreme fog up here as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was crazy. No one could see anything.
No.
It's
I live
very
on a
foggy.
hill, so you couldn't see the valley anymore. It was shocking. And we have a green scan in front of us with a lot of the woods, of course. It looked like something out of a horror movie. I didn't go outside. No, honey, we got to get this recycled out.
You're like, this is scary.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it's scary. I'm not going out there. Just be my luck. I end up on Cairo 7 behind some nonsense. So I saved my butt in the house. And then it had the nerve to freeze and get icy like last night or the night before.
It's been cold. I mean, it's deceptively pretty.
Yeah, fabulous.
Nice, beautiful blue skies, but cold. Not as cold as our friend Jessica White. You know how cold it is for her? Her husband posted his, or maybe it was her, one of them posted their car temperature reading, minus 22.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a Seattle life for a reason, born and raised.
I'm like, wow, that sounds painful.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I have no business being anywhere near anything like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to the craziness.
Okay, where are you going?
In March.
Okay.
So, I was talking to Jessica, and there's someone doing a little nail retreat up in Massachusetts. I'm like, hey, there's like nowhere to go to shows and classes and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, I'm all for it. So I'm going to a class in a few weeks for one of my friends in Oregon, shaping class. If any of you know Allie Baker, she's teaching shaping in Oregon. So if you want to go, I believe there are a couple spots left. And, you know, shaping is always good to learn and to practice. I'm all about learning new things and getting better. So going to her class. And then I'm going to Massachusetts for this other class. And I look at the temperature. In March last year, this location had 5 days over 20 degrees.
Oh, no, thank you.
And the rest of them were below.
Yes.
And some below.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yes, you are.
So I'm bringing my heated blanket.
And
you
those
know.
socks. Remember the socks you taught me
right?
about?
I don't think I'll be outside long enough to need those socks.
Okay. It
but
just sounds like anywhere you would need those socks.
oh my God. I'm like, why do people live there? That sounds painful.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, I'll go hang out with some friends. And seems to be a lot of classes being offered.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Oh, that's good.
Got a couple people. I mean, I never really get to take classes when I run camps, so it's kind of fun to get to go and take some. A lot of people teaching or people that come and teach at my camp, so.
Stay hydrated. Have your hot toddies on deck to keep you warm.
Hot things. But, so that'll be fun. And I'll get to go see Jessica's house. I'm going to fly into Boston and take the train up and hang out with her for a night.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
And then we'll drive to the place together. She lives in the middle of nowhere. Let me tell you, it is going to be like planes, trains, and automobiles to get to her house. I think it's like 5 or 6 hour flight.
Okay.
And then it's like a 3-hour train, and then it's like an hour drive or something.
Okay, but there's maybe some trees or something, you know, gorgeous.
I don't know. It's in the middle of
I don't
nowhere
know.
is what I know. What I know is it's out there in the middle of nowhere. So, that's okay. She's doing the same thing to get to here in a few weeks for us for a girls' trip.
Aw, where's the girls' trip to?
Mexico.
Oh, stop it. Tell me more, darling. Living vicariously.
Yeah, we decided that we never get to hang out at camp, and so a couple of us were like, we need cocktails and a beach.
Oh, right on.
So I found, you know, I'm always about the deals. I found Costco Travel has the best packages.
Okay.
So for about just over $1,000, right around 1,100, it's 5 nights, all inclusive, including airfare.
Stop it.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I figured is a pretty darn good deal.
Absolutely.
It's cheaper than living at home.
Right,
so
right.
might not be where you live, but it is where I live.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I know. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't even have beachy things. Like, when I go to a beach with Jared, we have to run into the shade pretty quickly because the boy's a ghost. And, you know, ghosts burn really fast. So we don't really beach anywhere when we go on vacation. So I'm like, I'm going to need some cover-ups, and I got some sunglasses and get my flip-flops. I'm like, do I need to pack anything else? I don't think so.
No, just whatever you're wearing down there that's comfortable.
Right?
That sounds wonderful.
So again, I'm using a foot pedal, and when I do this portion, I slow it down quite a bit, and I'm just pushing, and I call it feathering, but it's just lightly pushing up, and I just watch for that that color to disappear. Now, if you have someone who has lifting, which you might have if you're using a different product, or their nails are flexible or something like that, then you just do it like that. Say they have a lifted portion, you do it behind the lifted portion, and that lifted portion will just pop right out. So that's what you need to do if you are dealing with someone who has lift. So when I do the sides here, if I have a little spot, you'll see that I will feather that until it just flies off. So it's very simple. And when I'm shaping this, I kind of want to, holding my E file down at an angle, just so that I can get a little bit of an arch in here. And you can see from the side how I maintain the arch going down. You want to make sure that they're not flat. You want strength in them. And your strength comes from your arch. So you still apply it just like you would a 30-day manicure, but you maybe use a little bit more product on your brush and you float it over a little bit more. So doing it at a side angle, you guys will see what I'm talking about. But you can see that I'm leaving that little halo when I'm filing around, and then you can go through and just lightly feather up. And come over here on the side, very lightly. Oh, I forgot we should be listening if anyone had a question. Oh, yeah, that. Sorry. Let me find the video real quick. How do I find myself? I had to not use the app because the app wouldn't let me log in properly, and so I'm having to do this in a little bit of a roundabout way.
I love the question, how do I find myself? Isn't that the question of life right there?
So true. Hey, Connie. Hey, we see some information. Connie, any news for camp yet? I mean, the main news is just that, you know, it's happening. So, it's going to be in November. There aren't any, let me see how I can get this exposed. There isn't any information as far as signups yet because where's the comments? Nope. How do we get the comments?
You know I can't help you.
Nope. I do not know how. Weird. Okay, anyway, so I'm working on the website. I want to make it a much better login for you guys for camp. I want to make it so that you can be able to add bedding, see who your roommates are that you put down, change information if you need to, see what your balance is, all of that kind of stuff. And I hired someone to do it, and she did stuff, and then I'm like, no, none of the features that I wanted were here. You just tried to make it look like a store. I'm like, I don't need you to make it look like a store. She's like, okay, well, I don't think I can do this for you then. I'm like, great, thanks. So that was 3 weeks of my time wasted. So I'm still trying to find someone to help make it a little bit better of a back end for registration. So once I do, I will get that going and get educators locked in and get stuff going along. But, you know, we're still 10 months away, guys, so we got lots of time. But, yeah, the location and the date, there is only one camp this year. It's going to be the one in Texas. So, but I will be dropping information. As soon as I get that back end fixed and get the whole website updated, I will do a post in the group page, the Nail Camp group page, and you guys will be able to see it and grab your spot. So it is limited to 175, which if you combine the 2 camps we had last year, we had 280 or something. So it's definitely going to be less spots than there is in the combined amount for both camps, but I know that some people don't really travel outside their area. So there should be space for everyone who really, really wants to go until it's sold out. All right. I still can't figure out why I can't see these things. I would like to see the comments, but I'm on the website portion, and it's not letting me. Maybe if we do it this way. Sorry, guys. This is not being friendly today. Right. I can see it. I can't see the comments. You can't see the comments. All we can see is the nails, which is not helpful at all. Alright. I'm going to have to try to make this log in. She laughs because we tried for like 5 minutes to make this thing log in.
And when it comes to the passwords, I can't even help you with mine.
Yeah, does anyone else have problems with like forgetting your password, or you change it and then it's like, okay, great, you're logged in, and then you go to do it in the app and they're like, no, you're not. It's like, wait a minute. All right, so there's a smidgen of lift here, so this is a really good way to show you guys. So get behind it and do that feathering technique from behind it. So I'm pushing here. I'm not hitting her natural nail. You're not creating a ring of fire. You're just pushing that lifted portion off. So that's the best way to do that without causing any damage. Again, same thing over here, which if she's got, you know, her thumbs are a little bit thicker product, so it maybe isn't as flexible. So we're going to remove some of that bulk.
Hey, darling, how are you? That's good. Just so you know we are family.
All right, let's take a look. So she might even have an air pocket, which is really good learning experience for some of you. So she maybe was using her nail as a tool. Not that Shayla ever does.
I done got in trouble on camera, Lord. I done went viral.
Shayla's and Shayla. It happens. People use their thumb to like fold papers, doing all kinds of things. So if you have a pocket, you see how there's a different color right here? You can typically see it even better when I get it wet. So you guys see this? This is a pocket lift. So how do you get rid of that? What you want to do is you can create, so I typically like to bring down the bulk because it's going to be easier to reapply later if it's not quite so like a giant crevice. But then you can go in a circle around your pocket lift. And I do a little bit at a time because this can get hot if you stay in one place. Okay, and you can see that right here it's starting to come up. So it means I'm getting close. Just very carefully go around. And this is good because I did have someone ask to see how I create an extension with balance. So I'm going to take this all the way down and show you guys how I can do that. Balance or Trinity, you can use both, but the trick is that if you're using Trinity, you might have to do it in a couple of steps, whereas balance, you just do one coat of balance, one coat of Trinity. So, but you would want to do that in this situation where you are removing down to the natural nail. So you guys see that? That pocket lifted area just came right off, and I'm just going to very lightly buff. Very, 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 very lightly. Okay, I'm barely touching her nail here. It's like a feather. And she didn't crack it? No, she didn't. So sometimes you'll see that, and someone would have put so much pressure on their nail that they actually cracked their nail. I'm sure nail techs have seen this. I saw it a lot more with acrylic than I do with gel. But occasionally if someone goes like, you know, well over a month and their nail has grown out really, really far, you might see where they've cracked their nail plate. And it hurts like, oh, dickens, it hurts. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. I like to have them a little bit tapered. All right, so that is how you get rid of a pocket lift. You got to go kind of around a circle, and you go back to the natural nail. So there's a little bit of gel left right here, which is fine. Lots of gel right here. This is where her pocket was. We're back down to the natural nail. So that's how you get rid of a pocket lift. And now she is ready to go. I'm just getting all the dust back in here. Off my hands, off her hands. I'll put this away. All right.
That was amazing. We're over here fanning out. I know.
Now you know how to take out a pocket lift?
Yes.
All right.
Anytime. Just add that to the list of skills now.
Sure. Right. Let me just see if I can log in on here so I can maybe see comments as I'm doing this.
Chop someone's finger off. Yeah. So
what are you doing?
We're talking about adding our skill of removing pop-up lifts that we don't have.
I would break someone's nail trying to do it. So
did you get to log? Oh Lord.
Why? I changed it and now it's still not letting me do it.
Her password won't let her in.
Here,
Yeah. I think a teenager could get it.
Well, it's the problem is that oh my gosh. I can't do it.
This is real life. It's a Friday.
I know. So we can see it on here, but see if you can figure out how to see comments on there as we go, or you can just watch it and refresh it occasionally.
Go ahead. Because
that way, because I can't answer anyone's questions, but we don't know what the questions are, and at the moment we don't know what any questions are, what anyone's saying, because it's not letting me. All right, I'm pulling my tools out of my disinfectant tray where they stay and soak, giving them a really good dry. No, the app, every time I go to do it, it says my password's wrong. And I even changed the password and logged into
that. Might be the problem. You're on a browser.
Well, the browser's working, but the browser is not.
You can't view the thing on the browser. That's why.
Well, it's.
You can only view it on the.
It won't let me log in.
So you kind of have a problem.
Apparently.
I can't do anything about that. That's the browser.
Shayla doesn't have Facebook, so
can't help you.
I'm gonna have to start coming up with a new solution.
We're gonna make
read them off, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just refresh it occasionally, and if there's any questions, please let us know. Larissa's here to help us.
Yeah, this is our production team. Checking in.
Connie just asked any news for camp yet.
Yes, I went over camp stuff. I'm going to get that. We're working on getting the back end better, because right now the way registration is, people email me constantly. Did I order bedding? Did I add this person as a roommate? What do I owe as a balance? All these questions that, or what classes did I sign up for? And I definitely don't know any of that, because
I apologize. I didn't refresh, and that was like 10 minutes ago.
It's all good. It's real life.
That's okay.
It's
Okay.
a Friday.
we're doing cuticles now.
Okay.
So, is that a long shark on the bit? And if so, where'd you get it?
Is that a long sharp?
Shark.
This is shank.
Sorry.
No, this is just a regular standard. I think on my website they're listed as a brass mandrel. And it's hilarious. Someone talked about this on YouTube today, and it's going around that, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So if you have sanding bands and they're hard to get off, just use your gel brush, hold on to the sanding band and push like this, and they'll just slide right off. So it's extremely easy to get them off. Just use you don't have to get out. Someone got out a dotting tool, and I think that would actually be harder, because you have such a small area that it's pushing, whereas this, it's pushing on a much larger area. So you just hold this tight and push it out. That's how you get your sanding band off.
So I don't know if you saw this one, but Carrie says hi.
Hi, Carrie. I hope you're feeling better. Carrie was not feeling well. You're going to have to text Dad. He's just trying to call me, and he has no idea that I'm on.
Where's your phone? Oh, you have it. So.
I have my phone. You're going to have to do it from your phone.
Oh, from my phone.
I love our production crew. These are the best.
I have to go upstairs. My phone's upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, he just wait.
Keith's not going to know why I'm ignoring his calls for an hour. You can return. Thank you.
Real life videos are the best. Like, just straight up life.
Do you love hanging out with us?
Oh, this is wonderful. Okay.
All right, so this is my favorite bit. There are lots of prep bits out in the industry. So I can push and pull Shayla all I want, because I got her right here on,
boom.
This is the wrist assist. And so when I look down and I can see her in the camera, if you see me push her, it's nice. It's not too hard, because I have the wrist assist. So this is my favorite prep bit. So I just glide over some areas that I did not get quite 100% of that off.
All right, I got your questions.
Yes.
I can't see them all, everybody. Just so I see that Miss Cammie says, what speed do you use for the sanding band?
So I have a foot pedal. So I use the KP 5000, which allows me to have a foot pedal. It is my favorite way. This e-file is actually not available anymore, the KP36, but they've improved it. So now if you get a KP60, it's very similar. It's even smaller than the KP36. So I do sell the KP5000 with the foot pedal, because it is my favorite way to do nails in and out all day long. So I'm using a foot pedal. It's like driving a car. If you want your speed up, you make it go up. If you want it down, you make it go down. It's always set at the max. I very rarely go to the max. I do go to the max when I'm shortening. And if you're shortening nails and you're not sure how to do it, I'm flying, making things fly. Hold your bit straight up and down. So completely parallel like this, all the way up on speed, and go from one side to the other. Okay, that is how you shorten nails. All right, so I'm going to switch back to this is the 2S football bits, 2S, 2 sharp. It is my favorite thing in the whole world for doing cuticles, because it gets underneath the cuticle and it really lifts it up, and you get extra growth out of it. As far as like, my clients won't see any grow out for at least a week, like not even a hairline, because it really gets in there. The product goes really nice and close, and it gives you a perfect prepped surface, which I love.
Okay, I have some more questions.
Perfect.
So,
yay, questions.
There's a lot. So, were you using the white coarse band from your store?
Yes, the white coarse zebra band, absolutely. That is the only one I use all day long. If you use medium bits, a lot of the time you're on the nail longer, because your grit is not able to do enough work. And when you're on the nail longer, you create more heat. So I absolutely use the coarse zebra sanding bands from my store. Yes.
What color did you remove from Shayla's nails?
Oh, that's such a good question.
What?
It was purple cat
a
eye, but I don't know the name.
Purple
cat eye.
But I don't know the name.
Oh.
And
I wasn't here for your last appointment, so I can't remember.
I know. I think it is it this new one?
Was it a
Hard
Flash?
Candy? No, it was a cat eye. We're doing Flash today. Oh, maybe it was this one. I have all these new goodies, you guys. Like, look at my new goodie basket. New goodie basket. All those need swatched, so until they get swatched, there.
Is it dark?
I think it's this one. Yeah, so it's this bit of gorgeousness right here. This is the one I removed. And it is called Sugar Plum.
Yeah.
Sugared Plum.
I was too sexy for myself with that. I mean, it was amazing.
It's so pretty.
Sugar plum cat.
Sugared Plum Cat Eye.
Okay.
All right, that hand's done.
Boom.
Jody says that I didn't use the bands for a long time because they vibrated so bad. Now I'm back to them and I noticed they're faster and smoother.
Yeah, so vibration is often actually nothing to do with the sanding bands. Well, okay, yes and no. If you're getting a different brand of sanding band, yes, they can vibrate. I actually tested probably 20 different zebra sanding bands from different companies before I found this one, because a lot of sanding bands, the grit on them, there's like little balls, and yeah, they hit the nail every time it goes around in circles, and you end up with really bumpy, really vibraty nails, which are not good. So the band does have a lot to do with it. So the zebra ones I love because they don't do that. They're still coarse, but they don't have excess bumps on the actual band. The other thing that can cause a lot of vibration is if your shank is bent at all. So mandrels are luckily very inexpensive. If your shank is bent at all, you're going to feel a lot of vibration. And because every time it goes around, that unbalance is constantly hitting the nail. So always have a backup. If you drop your E-file and your bit is inside of it, no matter what kind of bit it is, throw it out. Because I guarantee you, your bit hit the ground or hit the counter or hit something, and it is going to be bent. And you can try to use it, but A, you can mess up your E-file, or B, you're going to end up with just tons of vibration. So always have spares of your favorite bits. This one in particular, I change out probably every 6 months. I have 3 or 4 of them in my little drawer, and I kind of rotate them as I grab them because I don't want to wear one out more than another. But when do you know that you need to replace this? Because when you feel it, you're like, oh, you can still feel the diamond grit on it. When I have clients that I'm doing this part on and prepping their cuticle, if they start going, oh, it's getting hot, oh, it's getting hot, that bit has started getting too smooth, and it's now spinning and buffing and creating heat. So typically if I have a client or a couple in a row that are like, oh, that's hot, this should not be hot. This process is not a hot process, but if they're getting hot, it's very likely your bit. All right, next question.
This is also from Jody.
Good.
Jess, you got me started on the 2S, and I'm in love.
Good, good.
Using.
Yes, that is the one I'm using. It is the best. I try to keep many, many, many in stock because people have learned that it is so worth its weight in gold. I mean, I was very anti-bit. If you're watching these videos on YouTube and you're watching one of my old videos, you might see me back in the day when I used to scrape everything, right? Shayla remembers. She's been coming a long time. I used to scrape the nail plate, and that was the only way I would do it because I would go to classes, and I'd have educators use different prep bits on me, and then I'd go back, and I'd grow them out for like a week, and then I'd file my nails down, and I'd feel it, and I'm like, can I feel a ridge? And if I could feel a ridge, I didn't want to ever use that bit.
Right.
So it was a long time, and I would try different bits, and this was the first one that I tried where I was like, oh my gosh, because of the shape of it, it doesn't create a ridge, and it preps beautifully, and it lifts everything up so nice. So if she doesn't get a lot of cuticle overgrowth that I have to do anything to, but if someone does, it's going to lift all that up, and it just makes it so easy to just get at and get rid of. So go around the cuticle with your file. These are just the Akzentz zebra files, which I've been using lately. I like them. I feel like the newest batch is a little bit better. There was a batch where they were just all a little bit too smooth, and it drove me a little bit bonkers. But I feel like the new batch is Definitely better.
Oh, they fixed it?
Mm-hmm, a little bit, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm going to bring these in just a smidge. I like to taper hers because they do get so long. So there is a little bit of nail here to the side. And if you really want to be particular, you can stick a form on this and bring this nail all the way back down. So if you have someone that has a notch, sometimes it's really good to do that. So if I notice that she gets a notch like that, I'm going to get out a form. I'm not going to put it on right now because I'd be hitting it all over the place, but I'm going to put a form here, and that way when I just pull the gel out, it can pull that out properly. But she gets them kind of on all of them, and I kind of just try to blend them a little bit because it's just what happens. Did you text Dad?
Yes.
Thank you. Just checking.
Yeah, he just said you want to talk about tonight, so.
Yeah, well, it's going to have to talk about it later.
Okay. Ooh.
I love your sounds. All right. Ooh.
Cindy says hi.
Hello, Cindy. Again, I'm going from underneath, so I can see that this nail is actually bowed out a little bit, so we're going to be able to roll that in. Coming from underneath and going in. And looking at that, we've got straight sidewalls. That's what we're going for. Okay. But again, she gets a little bit of this notch, and it's always on the side. So we can stick a form on there when we do it, and it'll just pull it out, just so when we file at the end, it blends it in. This one's all right. There's a little bit of...
I have a few more things.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Is how many RPMs you run on the e-file also related to speed, or is that something else?
RPMs is speed, yes.
Okay.
So most e-files are 30,000 RPM for your max. So mine is set at its max, and then I use the foot pedal to actually control the speed, which is much faster than constantly going back and forth and switching your speed by hand. So the portable e-files are great if you're a portable tech, or like I use mine at my toes, because when I do gel pedicures, I just have a speed for when I'm removing gel polish, and then I have a speed for when I'm prepping. I don't really have to worry about in between, whereas I do that with hands. So I use a portable one for toes. I don't use a portable one for nails. I always use foot pedal. Next.
Okay, also the, I think this got questioned earlier. I can't tell if this didn't get answered because it was...
That's okay. Just ask away.
Is that a long shank for the sander band?
Yes.
Sanding band?
Yeah,
Okay.
we answered that. It's just a standard sanding band. I just always pull it out. I never tuck my sanding bands. And this is a Vicki Peters thing. It might have just been because she's the one who taught me. But I never put my bits all the way to the end. I always move it up. And I'm not I can't remember exactly why she taught me to do it this way, but I always have. So it's a normal size shank. It's just I always scooch them out. Same with this one. My paper. I always move them out. So they do not have to be pressed all the way in at all. And I do get mine maintenance, and maybe it's possible that I have more dust than other nail techs in mine. I don't know. I send mine e-files in to Bruce Atwood every year or so. Sometimes 2 years if I can get away with it. But send them in when I'm like on a vacation or something, and he'll tune them up, replace anything that needs replaced and everything. So it's a great route if you need to get your e-files maintained, is to send them into Bruce Atwood.
Okay, Jody says, my last order I bought 100 grit files. They seem kind of sus.
They seem what?
Kind of suspect.
Suspicious.
Oh, I don't know.
They're not operating the way she hopes.
I don't know. I just sell what they give me. So they definitely, this last batch are feeling coarser on this side. I always feel like their 180 side is too smooth since they have changed them, and I don't like that. I have yet to find the ones that I think they switched manufacturers, and I have yet to find the manufacturer that made the old 100 180s, but I think I still have one. I do. So I still have one, and I save it like a treasure.
I know that's right.
So you can see the inside. It used to be black. Now it's white. I think when they changed it, we went from, you want to see what I mean? So touch the top of this. Touch the top of that. It's supposed to be the same grit.
No, not even.
They're not even close.
Yeah.
So this is the 180 that I like. This side's pretty close. This is actually what the 180 feels like, and this is what a 100 feels like.
Okay, much closer than the other.
Yeah. So this one is my favorite, and I have yet to find it. So I keep this like a gold
Hidden,
and I don't use it. I just keep it. And that way, if I get new e-files to try, I can check it against that and see if it feels correct. And I've yet to find the same ones, so I'm still on search.
So, what's a more gritty file that you would suggest?
I would love to tell you. We just got all of the new Stalix ones in, and I really want to check those out. You can go grab some if you want. I'll see what they feel like. You don't even know where they are, though.
I'm not good at Stalix.
I know. We just got like 100 new Stalix products in.
They're all numbers. I don't like numbers.
Well, they look like files. They're in the space between the two racks, like in the space, not even on a rack. The ones that look like this.
I love this.
We're waiting for more racks. IKEA has been horrible.
Packed up.
Like, you want to know people that are missing stuff? IKEA is like, we've been trying for a year to get more shelving. A year. And we're on like the please notify me when you get more in thing. And we'll get emails or messages that say, you must re-sign up for this. We have run out of, it's past the time. And I'm like, well, if you would get them in. And not even just for here or Seattle.
So, the Stalix ones are the metal base and then the...
Well, there's some, I ordered some that are just like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have their regular files in too. They're just zebra, I think.
Aww.
Hmm.
I can't, I have glasses, I can't read that far back. I see one that says, Jess, you are my shiro from Mary Ann.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and that's all I can.
I need to do more videos more often because people say nice things to me.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
And when I'm doing this, I'm gliding and hitting my phone, but I'm holding my file at an angle down so that I can thin out the free edge because we really want to make sure that this is all nice and thin.
I thought you were talking about the metal base ones.
Yeah, no, they got some new, I got these ones in. And they look nice and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
This side is definitely a coarser 100, but their 180 side is the same, which is kind of disappointing. This is coarser though, for sure. This is coarser 100 than this one. This one feels like a 180. This one feels like a good 100. But this feels like a standard. I feel like it's such a fine 180, which is fine if you're doing detail stuff, but I don't know. I feel like maybe at 80-100 is going to be like my goal. Maybe at 80-100 is what I really want in life.
I love it.
So someone asked what's on your nails. And I don't think they answered.
Well, what is on my nails is what we're putting on Shayla's nails.
Darling.
Yes.
Just
so
one moment.
It is these two flash, Pinup and Camera Shy.
Oh, yes.
And it's an ombre of these two that create this kind of pink to purple to silvery blue effect.
Those are perfect because I am a camera shy pinup. Okay? This is it, baby.
So I'm trying to shoot from this angle. I had a couple requests to get a couple more videos done in this angle, so it's a little tricky for me, so my apologies if I get out of frame. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but might help you see the side view a little bit better. But I am thinning these out quite a bit. I just wanted to show you guys. You can see, you want to make sure these are as thin as you can get. It's hard to show you right there, the free edge. But then we'll use a bit under these. We'll give her some underwear.
Oh, yes, I love panties.
Terry says, holy sparkle on that ring.
Oh, thank you, darling.
And Jody says, I almost had to close my eyes.
Oh, dear. Get your sunglasses out.
Ooh la la,
yeah,
ooh
you
la
all
la.
are fun.
What y'all doing this weekend? Is anyone doing anything fun? We are apparently going to bingo, I think, tonight, possibly. So
I think that's cool. I've never been, so tell me all about it.
I haven't either.
Okay.
It'll be fun. It's our date night, apparently. with our good friends. So on this one, I'm purposely bringing this in. She actually injured this nail a year ago or so.
Ooh, Lord.
And it's growing in quite a bit wider than it used to. Have you noticed?
Mm-hmm, you told me.
Yeah, it's definitely wider than the other nail.
That pain. I remember like it was yesterday.
Also, Teresa says, Shayla, your laugh is everything.
Thank you.
We all love her laugh.
We do. We love Shayla. She's got fan club.
I appreciate you all. Because when I was younger, that laugh was not appreciated. So damn loud.
So I'm massaging really well around the cuticle area. Even though I use that bit, you guys, you really need to prep around the cuticles well. If you don't want lifting, if you want your clients to be able to go 3 to 4 weeks without problems, you've got to spend the time doing the prep. So now I'm very carefully prepping her where she had her pocket lift. And if you see, I'm holding, with my nail, I'm holding her nail because right now there's no product on her nail and I don't want it to do that because that's not comfortable, right?
Right.
So natural nails are very flimsy, especially if you've had product on them. So to keep them from flexing like that, use your own finger as a base so that you can put the pressure on that you need to file and shape that extension, okay? Help a girl out because they're really going to be thin when they're like that. You can see her where she had her pocket lift right there. And it's just, I just want to make sure we've got it buffed very lightly. So this is when I am using that really light side. Just want to make sure that we're all good to go there so the product does not lift again. All right, I'm going to do a quick length check on the bad boys.
So the video you sent Jody was using natural pink for building, but I only have balance, or she only has balance.
Okay, so that's fine. So natural pink is currently unavailable. I only have little tiny jars left. I'm talking with Akzentz. They need to get some more raw materials in, and then they will be able to make me another batch. But we do have natural clear in stock. So natural is my old go-to, which is why that was an old video for you. You can do the exact same thing that I did with natural with balance. It's the same technique. It's just balance is a little bit thicker and balance is a LED gel as opposed to a UV gel. But as far as technique, it is the exact same technique. It's just different gel. But it's a very similar, it's the closest that the chemist could get to natural when coming up with a semi-self-leveling gel. It's not the same. And those of us who love natural still say it's not the same, but it's as close as they could get.
Dottie says, great narrating.
Thanks. All right, again, we're checking the length here. You can see that the one on the left is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter than the one on the right, although it might be hard to see it at that angle. It might look completely different. But looking at it straight down, I can see that this one is just a little smidge longer. It still tends to grow a little bit faster, this one that's been damaged, so it's not really surprising. All right, everything is done and good. Let's give her a good wipe down. So I'm using a combination of nail prep and prep and wipe. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm using a combination of prep and wipe or nail prep, actually. Sometimes I use the one or the other. The nail prep is blue, the prep and wipe is clear. Doesn't really matter. There's different like antimicrobial properties in nail prep, so a lot of people really like nail prep, and it's the original, the OG. But prep and wipe, I do a mixture. It's like a 3/4 of one and 1/4 of acetone, and mostly that's because I do a lot of stamping. And if you want to clean the nails after you do stamping, it really helps if you've got some acetone in there. Okay, so I'm just going to stick a form on these two end ones just to show you guys how to fix if you get this kind of a situation on your sidewalls. So you're going to need some scissors. And these are some old, very sharp, I just stabbed myself.
Please be careful.
Some old little Love Nails ones, which I don't carry anymore, but I did start carrying Stalix ones, and they're pretty awesome. So I'm automatically going to just cut a nice deep mark because I need these to go really good up on the sides. And so without even checking, I want to make sure that we get in there on the sides. and get totally under. I almost feel like I need to, it's hard to do with the camera in my way. She almost has not enough nail, almost. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just needed to get it to tuck in to this tiny little spot. I need to restock my orange wood sticks. So she only has a little smidge of nail there, so we want to make sure that we get that tucked in and up, right up against this nail. So when we pull our Trinity down, we're able to make it straight. Larissa got like all A's.
Congratulations,
in
darling.
her semester. Are we surprised? No,
not at
because
all.
she's a smart cookie.
Right.
All right, again, I'm just gonna make sure that this is well shaped. If you like these forms and they were sold out for a while. Akzentz finally got them back in, which means we got them back in. You can now get them again. And these are the Pro Tab. I want to go up a little higher, so again, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more out of this form. So it takes a few extra minutes to do this. So if you're running behind, you don't have the time, just know that this is going to take a few extra minutes if you need to fix the sidewalls here.
Dottie was saying, "Oh, Jessica, you're great, but I wanted to say how nice it was that your beautiful daughter is joining you."
Aww, right on.
Dottie.
Right
That's
on.
so nice.
It takes a village up in here. Oh, that's right.
All right, so we're going to go to Trinity. My other one is down to like the last two nails, so I'm not even going to bother opening it. I needed a drink. I'm going to go through and pull this up. This is stuck well. So sometimes I'll just use my nipper, and it only takes like the slightest to just pop it right off. And sometimes it's stuck really well. There we go.
Marlene says that I got my cat eye polish today, and I played with it on my own nails, and I love it. Does it come in any other color, or how can I get the pink and purple
Oh
color?
my goodness, there's so
We have
many.
Darling.
We have a
Yes.
whole line of them.
Yes, just type cat eye in the top. I should make a whole category for them
Anything
because
you can want is in here.
yeah,
It's
we have
popping, too.
many cat eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I'm looking. Nope, that's not the right brush. Make sure you guys get the right brush for your Trinity. There it is. It looked a little pale because on my last client I used this brush because I was just doing Ivory Kisses from our options collection.
That sounds sweet as well.
Yeah, it's an ivory, and then she wanted unicorn tears on top of it. So
I
it's
didn't
an
know
ivory.
unicorns cry.
Apparently,
Wow.
they look like this.
Oh, that's popping. I want a unicorn tear too in the name. I love that.
Yeah. So this is the unicorn tears, and it's clear. So we did an ivory, and then we did this over the top, and it created like that iridescent. So
Oh, that's very pretty.
that's why I couldn't find my brush. All right, here we go. I'm gonna let's see. Here we go. Guys, let me know if I am not in a good angle for this. Maybe if we go.
Also, seems like Jody is having a lot of trouble with the building with balance. So, is there any tips you can give her for that?
So balance, you just can't expect it to be super smooth. I'm going to do balance on that thumb.
With my pocket.
Yeah, with your pocket, and I'll show you guys how to do that with balance.
Also, why are we putting forms on Shayla?
So if you look at the side here, you will see that she has a little portion of her nail missing. So I want to fill in this little bit of a gap right there, whether it was tapered in or whatever. I want to fill this in. You can see right here. Oh, I've got a form blocking. There we go.
Oh, so sorry.
That's okay. So right here, I just want to fix that little bit. I probably could taper it in, but it's gotten to the point where if you look at her nail, it's missing this whole sidewall. So I want to fix that. All right, so I'm going to grab a good amount. You guys see there's a real good amount here. I'm going to roll it off, and I'm going to push it up to the cuticle. And why am I adding a little bit more than I usually would? Because I want to create her arch. So I'm going to push it right there where her start of her arch should be, and then brush down. So usually in a 30-day manicure, I'm not really worrying about an arch because people don't have so much to work with. Now I'm grabbed a little bit more, and this is when I'm going to come in and make this little edge that's missing. Okay, so I'm doing it second. Why? Because I didn't want to mess this part up when I did her fill portion. I'm going to check around the sides and check my line of light. Check your arch on the side, and you see how it goes up. She's got a good shape in it. And the longer you let it sit, the more it's going to level. So you just want to make sure you're not letting it sit too long. But now I just have enough product coming out here that when I file the sides, it's going to be a better shape. All right, we're going to flash cure this, please.
Okay,
1, 2, and then out.
All right.
And we'll do this one. Same thing. I'm going to grab a good ball of gel on my brush, roll it right in the middle, and I'm going to start from one side to the other, and I'm pushing just a little bit. You want to leave about a credit card thickness around the cuticle. It's better to stay away from the cuticle than it is to risk touching it, because once you touch it, it's like a floodgate is open, and it will just keep going back there, and it's annoying as all get out. So stay away from the cuticle if you can. That is always my #1 tip. Turn your brush sideways if you need to brush some away. You don't need much on the tip, so I'm literally just feathering a little bit on there. Okay, and now I'm just going to grab a little bit of extra, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some along the side here to fill in that little bit of a gap, and we're going to flash cure.
Okay, and 1,
Any questions on all that?
Someone commented on how great the angle is when you're doing your lives.
Good.
I don't want to butcher their names, so that's why I'm saying it. Could be 4 different things.
Okay, so there's a little, I'm just going to remove that little bit sticking out because I don't want my gel to stick in it. So, all right. Again, grab a good amount on your brush, roll it on the center. So again, you're grabbing more than you would for a 30-day manicure overlay, but you're not really doing much different. The main difference is I'm not going to hold my brush quite as flat when I gloss it over. I'm leaving most of that product right there. Now I'm touching the front of it and I'm gliding it down, but I'm leaving the bulk of that right where I put it down, and that's going to create or elongate your arch so that your nails continue to be strong. Because we don't do broken nails here, right, Shayla?
We do not.
We do not.
It's too stressful. It's too painful.
Okay, freeze that. I'm going to go 1, 2, and out.
Thank you. The count is unnecessary.
Okay, again, good amount. Roll. And if your clients have heat with going that speed, 1, 2, and out like I did, you can always go a little bit faster. I just suggest before you do the thumb and their hand is turning sideways. Sorry, I was going to try to move my hand and I messed up the gel. Before you let them move their hand sideways, you flash cure 1 extra time just so that nothing's going to be moving when you turn their hand sideways, if that makes sense. So again, if you feel like you've pushed too much forward, you can always get in front of it and see how I'm just kind of feathering it. I'm pushing it back, and it's a push and a pull. And then I get on the side walls here and I use the side of my brush to pull down and then feather down the front. Now if you want me to see you, sorry,
1,
hitting it.
2,
and out.
3.
Good job, Shayla.
This is serious.
If you want me to see how you're doing this and to work with you, I am doing a class in May at the Oregon Nail Show. And I'm going to teach this again, but then I'm having you guys do it so that I can see how you're doing it, see how you're holding your brush, if you're having a problem with something. So I just grabbed a little bit extra for that because I want to make sure I can get her arch where I want it, and I didn't grab quite enough. It's hard to grab enough with thumbs. So don't be afraid to grab a little bit more and drop it right on the nail if you need to. And I did touch the cuticle over there, which I'm going to get right before she goes in the light. Because if I move it now, let me show you guys what happens. It is a floodgate. There is product there. It will continue to run to that spot. So you have to make sure that when you wipe it out, you are ready to go right back in. And if you start playing again, check it, check it, check it before you go in, and then go in.
All right, I'm in.
1, 2, 3. And out. And I let her always remind them to just leave their finger out for a few seconds before you go in for your final cure, and then you can go in and keep it in. If anything gets hot, you're welcome to take it back out.
I'm going in.
Okay. All right, so again, pushing around the cuticle, I'm leaving the majority of that product right here, okay? That's where you want your ball to be. When you're looking at it, see that? Your ball is right there, because then you're going to touch the bottom of it, and I'm pulling down. Pulling down. Push it back towards the middle and pull it down. It's a very light touch. If you're creating divots in your nail, you're pushing too hard. Okay, now if I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, that side looks good, but maybe I feel like I need a little bit more right here, you can always add a little tiny string like this where you want it, give it a second, and then freeze.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I like that.
All right. I'm going to push, push, push around the cuticle. Leave your credit card thickness grow out spot. We're going to be putting color there anyway. It's better to have there nothing there so your color can fall back into that spot. All right, so I just pulled too much down, so if I look at it from the side, you guys can see how flat that is. So if I want to give her a little bit more shape, I'm grabbing a little bit more on my brush, and I'm just going to touch it right in the middle, push it up and kind of over to where I want it, and then again, lightly grab it down. It's a little harder to do that, so it takes some practice. Don't be afraid, just try it. And the trick is just to try to stay off the cuticle, because that's when you end up with a mess. But now when I look at it from the side, there we go, we have a shape. Go ahead and put that in.
Yes.
We want a good shape.
2, 3.
Thank you. And you can tell when Shayla gets too hot, because she'll be like, mortality.
I'm gone when I'm on my way.
She's doing good. She's doing good. She's counting well. All right. So again, push around the cuticle. Push, push, push. Very carefully. Don't touch cuticle. And we're going to push and glide down. Next week, I will be doing a unboxing with the new colors. They had notified me today. My shipment should be going out, so I should have them, I think, by Tuesday. So if you haven't pre-ordered yet, get on there and pre-order. Shipments should be going out Tuesday, which I believe is release date February 1st, right?
Wow.
So it's exciting. 6 new colors. All right. Look at it from the side. Go ahead on in.
Okay.
So if you do your fill this way, it takes a little bit of practice, but there is no finish filing other than the sidewalls on those nails where I added some extra. All right, again, I'm going to roll it. Push, 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 push. And see how there's a bunch of product right here? I'm going to push it up. Okay? So don't be afraid to push. You don't want to pat. Patting is acrylic. This is not acrylic. Don't pat your gel. But you can push and pull it all you want.
And if there are any questions or comments, our co-narrator took a break.
Yes,
so
Larissa went to go get a drink or something, so she'll be back if you have any questions.
Just give us one moment.
All right. Put that in. All right, so I'm going to get the balance out because I'm going to show you guys how to create a nail balance out of my drawer. Okay, so this is Balance Clear. If you have any questions, you can just let us know. Larissa has returned. Okay, so I'm going to let you flash that one more time because we're going to be turning her hand sideways for quite a while.
1. You want me to just let it chill or count?
Just a few seconds.
Okay.
So this is...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Linda joined, and she is very happy that she finally caught a live.
Oh, good. Hello, Linda. Welcome.
Yeah, she also wants a recap on what is on your nails.
To get to see it from start to finish, so I'm glad people are enjoying it. What I actually want to do with mine is also like add a black stamp at some point. Like maybe next week I'm going to add a black stamp, so then I get a design like through it.
You're just going to uplift the sexy.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I need to do a little more.
Just a little smidge.
Just a little more.
This is
all right, so here we have Balance and we have Trinity, okay? So these two gels can work together to create your full sets. Akzentz has tons and tons and tons of gels. You do not need every gel Akzentz has. I promise you, you can do nails with just a couple of them. So you can absolutely do full sets with just Trinity all the time. The problem is that when you're trying to extend a nail, you end up having to do like 4 layers, and I don't have time for that. So using Balance helps eliminate that extra layer. They're basically the exact same gel, just one has a much runnier viscosity and one has a thicker viscosity. Why does this have a runnier viscosity? Because it also has bonding gel and top gloss built into it. This one does not. So if you're going to be using this one, you're going to be planning to use a bonding gel and a top gloss on it, whereas this one is an all-in-one, okay? So that's going to be one of the reasons you get a runnier gel. So for me to be able to use Balance, I need a bonding gel. What has bonding gel? Trinity. So I'm just going to apply my Trinity like a bonding gel, which is just over the whole of the nail. I'm not worried about an arch. I'm not worrying about it being fancy. I don't have to scrub it in. Just get it on the nail. That's step 1, okay? This is for building a nail. Now, if you're building an extension, it's the exact same process that I'm going to be doing here, but you just don't have a natural nail under it. But otherwise, I'm going to be doing it the same way. Now, when I build nails out, I typically prefer to use my oval brush, which is here. Twist it funny. You know when you twist funny and then you got like a rib that doesn't want to go in its own place? That's what just happened. All right, so this is an oval 111. These are Kolinsky brushes. Let me tell you what is happening in the industry right now. Kolinsky brushes are, they've gone up like astronomically. So these brushes, I believe, are now like double what they used to be. Ugly Duckling Kolinsky brushes are going up, or they've actually started changing the hair on the Ugly Duckling Kolinsky brushes because otherwise they'd be over $100 a brush.
Oh, okay.
So Kolinsky brushes are becoming extremely expensive. So if you have them, hoard them and take care of them because they're no longer going to be affordable as far as that goes.
Is Sujera says hi.
Hello. All right, so see how nice and flat that is. So we're going to roll on a nice big bubble, okay? And you almost don't even have to do anything with it if you don't want to, because you can be like, okay, that's my arch, and then you can just deal with Trinity otherwise. Typically, I try to just very lightly feather over to the corners and brush down just a little bit. Now, if you're building an extension and you have a form on, then you're going to need to have enough to create your free edge with this as well. So you'll add some more, and you can feather on a bunch of extra to create a free edge. But do you see I'm not moving that ball from the center of the nail? The last thing you want to do is take away the nice arch that you just added, right? So it's not nice, but it's there. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? You have an arch in the nail now, all from just adding that ball. So it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, but it's there. You're going to be blending it and then filing it at the end anyway. So if you guys are worried that your nails, when you're sculpting a new extension, is not perfectly smooth, you really need to look at the progress pictures for like a Nails magazine cover that's done with gel. Because you will see that even if you're doing a cover, there's gel all over the place. So, and it's bumpy because we file it into place if you are doing a full set. Fills, you should be able to learn how to apply it and not have to finish file. That's just going to save your body and your career. But with a full set, you definitely are going to be filing it. So I'm looking at this and I can see there's a spot right here that's just a little low. And I'm just going to add a little bit more. You don't need to. You can do that with the Trinity step. But if it's really low, then you might want to add it. It's going to not flatten out easier. So this is not going to flatten out, okay? So that is why you use Balance to do this step. If you're doing this with Trinity and you try to use this much gel, it's going to be all over the place. It's too much to try to put on a nail to build a whole nail with Trinity. But I've left this whole area empty. Why? Because that's going to be Trinity. So we're going to flash cure this a couple of times. I almost put the wrong lid on that.
3. Oh.
Come on out.
Oh, yes.
So if they have any heat, come out.
Okay.
And this is when you can, if you have a form on and their nail is warm, this is when you can give it a squeeze. She doesn't have a form on, so I can't squeeze anything in. But if it gets warm, that means it's starting to set up, and that's a really good time to squeeze a C-curve in.
Okay.
Okay.
1.
But you're only going to do that if it's a full set.
Yes,
all right.
mortality.
Mortality. So it started getting warm on her. Your balance is going to get warm for a longer amount of time than your Trinity is. So, but it's set up enough. Do you see that? It's set up enough for me to put my next step on there. It's going to continue to cure when I do the rest, so it's fine. Grab a nice big ball because I'm going to fill in this whole area. Push and then glide down. Just like I did a fill, right? That's the exact same steps I did. And see, it fills in all the gaps. It's still going to be a little bit bumpy. And I'm going to flash cure this because I'm going to finish file it. I'm not going to try to like make it perfectly smooth. There's too much gel on there. If I tried to add more gel, it's just going to pool the whole cuticle area and it's going to be a hot mess. I would rather freeze it because see how it's already starting to move to the side. And I'm going to have to file that out, which I would not like. So check it. Make sure there's nothing there. Flash it one more time. And then I'm going to go through and fill in any spots that seem too low for my filing. Okay, so I'm just going to look at it and check the line of light. So it's a little bit low right here, and it's a little bit funny right here, right? So we're going to add a little bit more here. And look at your nails from the side. You cannot see everything that your nails are supposed to look like from the top. You have to look at them from the side. They're clear. Any comments or questions? She's like, I forgot to refresh.
No, I've been refreshing. There hasn't been anything.
It's so quiet. People are bored. So sorry. All right, so I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit right there. Did you see where I drizzled that? It's to fill in that spot that was low. And if you have a slick layer, which means you've covered the nail with gel, it'll just smooth right into it. All right, there's enough gel on there for me to file the correct shape. She can do a full cure. You flash it one more time and then you'll full cure. All right. That means we are getting ready to start color.
Oh, yes. Okay, I got to focus. All right.
All right, so I'm going to get my... Can you, Larissa, behind you? I left my ombre brush on the pedicure area. Okay, so again, these are today's colors. We are doing my nails, which is Camera Shy and Pinup. Love them. Love them. Okay, so first we're going to start with Camera Shy.
All right.
Thank you very much. So you need to have your ombre brush. I'm going to be using my this is Profiles one. I have a Profiles one, and I also have this one. Which one do I want to use? Maybe I'm going to use my Ugly Duckling one.
Not bored, just paying attention.
Correction up in here. I know that's right.
Good students.
Also, I'm not sure what Shayla does for work. Definitely not my business. But a few clients I have went to long nails with their work. Went to work with long nails on their hands. They always get stress cracks.
Shape. It's always about your shape. Your shape is too flat. Too flat. I have people that deal with horses and wear no nails long. If you're getting stress cracks, your shaping is wrong, or if you're doing the same product I'm using, then it's typically going to be a shape situation. You shouldn't get a lot of stress cracks, or they're going too long between services. Most of mine can go 3 to 4 weeks, but if they're getting stress cracks on a regular basis, and they're a 3-weeker already, you need to figure something out. All right, tuck those in.
That's right.
And I'm just going to fix the edges of this. So this is her new sidewall. And I'm just going to come in here and very lightly roll up and make sure that it's blended, which it is. That's good. And come underneath to make sure that they are... Sorry, I'm holding it like this, and I'm checking to see that their sidewalls are even from one side to the other.
Also, continuing with Jody, because this is also from the comment.
Sure.
I have to get a much higher apex. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do a higher apex for sure. So it's just about putting your balance in there. Use your balance to start with, and then once you're coming in and you're doing fills, you should be able to do it just how I was showing you with a nice good size ball of Trinity. All right, so I'm checking this. This looks good now from the side. She's got a much better shape. Her sidewall, you guys can see, comes out straight now. It's not missing anymore, okay? It's a very simple fix. Doesn't take that much extra time. I always tuck the other fingers under just to help keep them from getting dusty. I did not remove the tacky on this because it's not necessary, okay? I'm filing gel, and then I'm just going to dust it. It's not necessary. It's just going to blend right in when I go to do the color. It's just an extra step, because what happens if I remove the tacky on the entire nail? Does anyone want to raise their hand and answer? What happens if I remove the tacky on the entire nail?
It takes like a minute for it to update, but I do have another thing you can answer.
Okay.
I missed the beginning. Did Jess take off a lot of product on Shayla's nails, and if so, why?
We started from scratch. So I just took off just everything I would do for a fill. Nothing extra. It's what I would always do for a fill. So.
Also, more comments on great camera position.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like it. It's a little different. It's harder for me to get used to, but someone asked it once, and I'm glad it's been helpful. Okay, so again, we have a fixed sidewall. It's coming out straight. She no longer has that notch on the side. I'm checking down the barrel to make sure there's nothing too thick. It seems a little bit thicker, so by looking down the barrel, it's so hard for me to do it from here. Looking down the barrel, I'm going to angle my file down and just remove a little bit of the bulk on the end, just because I'm already filing this nail. Might as well.
That's my favorite term to use, down the barrel.
Down the barrel. Remember when I was a new tech and I entered the Beauty Tech nail competition. It was an online competition back when Beauty Tech was around. Now, let me tell you what Beauty Tech was for all you that don't know. Beauty Tech was Facebook before Facebook for nail techs.
Okay.
So it was our message board, so it was a forum, and it's where we all asked questions and talked about trade shows and all of that stuff before Facebook. So now we have lots and lots of nail groups, but before then, it was not. So this isn't necessarily necessary. I'm just kind of messing with them now. But usually, I just go straight into polishing. All right, so we're good to go.
Oh, shit. I got to get my position. My cooker's right. Okay, here we go.
All right, so this is camera shy. It actually has a little bit of bluing in it. Even though it looks just silver on here, it's got a little bit of blue, which is really fun. So we're going to brush down. I'm doing it on about half the nail.
This is my new professional name, Camera Shot Pinup. They better watch out. Oh, I love them already. They're my favorite.
Shayla always says that. She'll text me like the next day. They're my favorite.
They're my favorite. Every single time I text her.
Ooh, I think it's refreshing on its own now.
Ooh, stop it, technology. Way to work.
Look down, I was like, there's more. I did not do that.
Go ahead, Mercury retrograde ain't got nothing on us. Go ahead.
Okay. I thought you always had to remove filing dust, even if it took the tacky layer.
Lie.
Yeah.
You don't. If you're applying a product that doesn't absorb it, then you may end up seeing it, and then you're obviously not going to have a good finish. But it's gel. It's just kind of getting absorbed by the gel. So it's not true. You can go right into what you're doing. Can you imagine if every little dust particle had to go all the time? It would kind of be annoying. But no, you don't have to. So did no one answer my question? Were there no good students? So the correct answer is, if I remove the tacky layer, I have to file the entire surface of the nail. That is why I don't remove the tacky, because I don't want to file the entire surface of the nail. I just want to file where I need to fix something. To file the entire surface of the nail means that's more work. More work is more time. Time is money. And you want to be able to get your services done in the correct amount of time. I'm just going to add a smidge more here because it was just not quite.
Oh, I'm like already in love.
Yeah. I like this combination a lot. I love these flash gels. They're delightful. They're so fun. All right, so that's it. All we're doing is just blending these up. Super easy, super fast. If you are like me and you have a service, so I do a one-color service, just checking to make sure I didn't overdo the product anywhere. I have a 1 color service, and then I have an art service, which is 2 colors or more. If you have, if you're doing this as a 1 color fee, I do have people that will do this, and I'll just blend it to clear, and they don't have to pay for 2 colors. It's just 1 color blended as opposed to going to the cuticle. So it's a nice way for people to have nails that might be growing out, but they don't see the grow out as much as if you completely cover the nail. Shayla doesn't go so long. She comes in 3 weeks or so, so she doesn't, grow out does not bother her. She still gets people say stuff.
Oh, especially at the deli.
Oh, I should have gone through and done the filing on this. I'm going to do these 4 nails and cure it, and then I got to go through and file that thumb so that we can do it.
So Rhonda asked, you froze, what's the name again? You have to clarify of what.
The colors?
I don't know, because it's a new comment, so.
So the colors I'm doing, they are Flash. You can go to my website. It's Camera Shy and Pinup. This one is Camera Shy. And then Pinup's going to be the pink. And they are going to look like my nails when we are done.
Oh, was the answer the have to file for gel color application?
If we filed my question was what happens if I file the entire nail? Oh. And the answer was that you would have to, or if I removed the tacky, what would you have to do? And I would have to file the entire nail.
Okay, then Lee got it.
Good job, Lee! Woohoo!
Yes.
There
was a good student. Yeah, I saw a comment saying, see, I'm a good student. And I was like, wait, did you say something? I was like, oh.
Sorry, my reader was not doing her job.
I'm
just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Took a state mandated 15.
All right, we're going to let that cure for just a few seconds, and then I'm going to go through and we're going to finish file that thumb so that we can do stuff. Can you add more liquid to this, please?
Yes,
I thirst. Thank you.
Oh, you have enough ice.
Yes, I just need liquid.
Okay, here I come.
No, I need the thumb.
Oh, this
that one's cured enough.
Okay. All
yep,
right.
We're going to go ahead and so I am going to be filing this whole nail because it is bumpy. And so I'm going to go ahead and...
If you put it there, I'll read it.
So what are we going to have her do? We're going to have her tuck. And that way we can file. So coming in from the sidewalls. And it's not a ton of filing. You guys see it's pretty smooth. But I want to make sure that everywhere around the cuticle and everything, because it was running just a little bit, isn't too bulky. So I want to make sure we get nice and close in here. And that there's not too much, because there might be a little bit too much, especially in the front. So I want to thin that out.
I'm holding on to you for dear life. It's the only way I can keep my hand closed. So.
That's okay. It helps them, you know, if they keep their hand closed, it gets less dust on the nails that you're already ready to go.
It's just going to load.
Okay,
all right.
no problem.
And then we're going to thin this down.
Oh, man, that was not what we were about to comment on.
No. No.
Do you need to find me again?
Your iPad's being kinky.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
What are people doing on Facebook that's popping up on my
I'm
iPad?
just trying to tell you, it's repetitive.
Oh, my. People's stories, I tell you. Sometimes you're like,
I don't want to buy a house.
That's the order they're doing, the kinkiness of the house. That's just a bit much right now.
All right, I'm checking all sides. I'm looking to see if my shape is correct and what I want. I'm going to look down the barrel. And I'm thinning that out and shaping it to the correct shape. All right, and looks good. So we will.
You're doing a fantastic job, darling. It says every live must have Larissa from now on. Oh, I'm her manager.
She does go to school, you guys.
Oh,
Today she was off because semester ended yesterday.
Oh.
So thinking about maybe, so I was going to do, you're asking about trips. So we were going to take care of my mom for spring break because she was going to have her other knee replacement. Right. Well, they have probably because Inslee has made doctors so backlogged because they can't do surgeries. They've decided just to do shots for a while.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not nursing my mom for spring break now. Okay. So now it's like, all right, well, where do we go? Well, in 2020, before COVID hit, we were supposed to go do Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and stuff for spring break. So I think we are going to do that.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. And it's like the first week in April, which I think for most kids from that area, they've already had their spring break. So it should make it less crazy. Okay. All right, so second coat. Now what makes this stuff really cool is that if you look at it from like an angle, do you guys see how it changes? Like, I don't even know if you can see it. It's just cool. You're going to have to just trust me on it. I guess if you look at mine like from an angle, you can see how it goes to like almost a white sparkle. It's reflective. It's reflective gel polish. I love the reflective ones. They're really neat.
I'm telling you, Mercury is in retrograde, and
it's not liking me.
And the devices
What'd you do
are
to
not
it?
being happy.
You touched things again?
That was like 4 months ago. It doesn't happen that often.
We're back. Check the celestials.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm okay. One second.
Yes, you must.
These two are cracking me up.
I can't work those things no matter what time of year. So, yeah. See, we're going to the Googles. Okay.
It was January 14th.
To when?
Okay, you're right.
See, listen, don't you try to mess with me.
Well, it was working for the little bit, so I didn't think so.
It said, haha, here we are.
That's probably why I've been so moody.
See, I'm telling you, it's all connected. There's no explanation other than the connection.
Mom's like, this makes no sense.
I'm trying to tell you, we know.
All right.
Been all off the past week.
I'm telling you.
So there's those, and then we're going to go up.
It's also always nice to have an excuse for us.
Then you better use something.
And again, we're going to go up. And I'm just very lightly blending this. This is the Ombre brush from Ugly Duckling. They're so pretty because they got like crystals in them. The Ugly Duckling brushes, they're really, really, really nice.
It was working for like an hour.
A lot of my life works for like 1 hour.
Did the video turn off, or it's just Facebook?
It's not loading.
Oh.
And it's glitched on me multiple times.
Let me check
Going
the
to
Wi-Fi.
weird posts.
Check the Wi-Fi.
No, it's
Open.
on Wi-Fi.
Okay.
It says it's full Wi-Fi. It just needs to load.
Facebook is being moody.
It's working on its meta.
Well, this is all easy. Everybody knows how to brush down. Brush down gel polish. About from the middle. Down the nail. So, so pretty. So, so pretty.
See?
So one of the reasons I couldn't do videos for a while is that I needed more backdrops and I couldn't find my file.
Where do they live?
I finally found my file. We got more backdrops, so now I can do videos again. So I promise next week I'll do a couple more.
Okay.
Someone wanted to see how thin my 30-day manicures were on a normal client, so I'm going to have to do that next week. Because it's a little bit, they're a little bit different when they're long like this.
We have some new comments.
Oh, yes.
After it started working again. My daughter has very sensitive cuticles, and it has had a hard time with me filling around that area. Any suggestions?
Filing around that area? Try to make sure, are you making sure that you are removing all of the grit off the edges of your files? So you need to make sure you're prepping your files really, really, really well. If your files are not prepped really well, then anything around the cuticles with a file is going to hurt. So make sure when you have a new file that you are pulling down like this, okay? Pull really hard, and it's going to remove all of the grit all along the side. Then you flip it over, you do this one, then you flip it over. You have to do all 4 sides, and it should make it so it's like absolutely no grit on this at all, and that would help with anyone with sensitive cuticles.
Makes a very unpleasant voice.
Sorry. She doesn't like the sound of files. She's not going to be a nail tech.
Yeah, no,
But she wants to do hair. All right, we're going to go to pinup.
Oh, here we go.
Also, I just bought the last new trio. I can only remember Lucid for a name. Were those supposed to be the flash or reflective gels?
No, those are like a metallic gel. They are not flash gels.
Was Was that Luxio? Or
That's the Luxio. Yeah, they're like Lucid, Chance, and Figment. They're really pretty. They're more like a metallic gel, but they're not reflective gels.
Yeah, our flash ones are profiles.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do this like I do a baby boomer, which is literally one coat, and then I'm going to ombre it down. Okay. So if you're doing a baby boomer, you would do your koi or whatever white you blend on top, and then you can just do one coat down. Maybe I'll do two. I think I'm going to do two. I think I did two on mine. Then I can really get it blended well. Yeah, I'm going to do two. Okay. So that means I'm going to do all 5. If I was going to do like I do with a baby boomer, you use so much gel to do that you have to flash cure each nail. Otherwise, you're going to have product go in the cuticle. But if I'm just doing it thin and doing 2 coats like I'm doing, then you do all 5. So I'm going to paint. And then I'm going to go through and blend. Any other questions?
If the iPad will load.
I thought you had some on there.
I did, but then I had to refresh the page and it started hating me again.
Don't refresh it until we've asked all the questions you can see.
I did.
Oh.
I love this.
All right, never
refresh
mind.
it every now and then because, goodness. Come on. Okay.
There we go. We're almost there. We're almost popping.
Come on.
Patience. Patience is not something we like to have.
One moment at a time. Not one day, one moment. Okay, let's see.
Started listening to the Will Smith book, and he actually talks about exactly that right at the beginning.
He wrote a book?
He wrote a book, which I listened to the Matthew McConaughey one, and then I saw that he had one. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll listen to his too.
He narrate it too.
He does, which makes it way more fun
Yeah.
when they're narrating, because you can kind of picture them, And but his, I went too close.
You got another compliment on your ring.
Oh, thank you.
Charlene says, I love your videos. And Linda says, I'll make sure the file is really well prepped, ? What about using a sanding band on low speed?
I would not, you don't want to be prepping in the cuticle area that close to the cuticles. One of the reasons I don't like doing fills at like 2 weeks, do you guys see how pretty? Go ahead.
So I think she was talking about, can you prep the file with a sanding band?
No, I've tried that and I don't feel like it preps it near as good as literally pulling that grit off. There was a tool that OPI came out with. There's been a couple of things because yes, I hate prepping them as well, but I typically will prep sometimes I'll prep a handful or at least the day's amount at one time so I don't have to prep between every single client. And that way I just have them all ready to go in my drawer. But I've tried different tools. I've even tried, some people will take their cuticle pusher, this side of their cuticle pusher, and they'll be like, I just rub it on that. And I'm like, yeah, and it's not working good enough because I can feel the grit. If you can still feel anything sharp, it's not doing it good enough. Do it really, really well with a hand file, and then do it with your e-file and see if you can get the same result. And if you can, cool. But you might realize that you have to do it so long with your sanding band that you might as well just do it by hand. So, I don't know, give it a shot. But definitely have one done properly with your hand file, and that way you can see how it goes. Or how it compares, I guess, would be the best way to do it. Okay, get nice and tight and close. You guys can see I've got 2 layers, very distinct, but because you've got this beautiful glitter, it blends like a dream. If you need to do ombres and you're like, I have such a hard time making them blend really well, do more glitter because
more glitter solves all the world's
yeah,
problems.
Glitter solves everything.
Right.
Because it blends just so easy. And then I push down. So when I do the front part, I'm almost pushing like this because I want to make sure that I'm removing anything off the very tip that I might have pulled down there because I want to keep it blue or silver, whatever color you want to call this. Icy. I want to keep it icy.
I think Teresa and Dottie are both in agreement that they need to go shopping after.
This is a pretty fantastic color combination, I do have to say. I showed a really bad picture on my Instagram of my mom's nails, actually, with pinup with this pink, because I was able to get a really good angle where each nail looks progressively more reflective. So if you go to my Instagram at Love Nails, you can see this really bad picture from a little while ago, probably last week maybe. It's not taken very well, but I happen to catch my mom's hand in just the right angle where you can see it completely reflective, and then how it kind of progressively gets reflective, how you hit it in the light. So it's a cool picture, but it's just not very, like, fancy.
So so this is a question on...
Gimme the other hand. She's like looking at Larissa and did not know to give me her hand. Yes,
so
question.
This is a question on your nail prices. How much extra do you charge to do something like this versus your regular one color nail?
So one color is $75 and two color art is $85. When we do long nails like this, it's an hour and 15 minutes, so it's $100 even. Right? Is that what my thing says?
Yeah, that's
okay.
what it says.
Thanks.
I could answer that actually. But...
It's on, I have a little menu thing on my table because I had to raise prices in October like everybody because everything's gone up. Our shipping. So if you order from Love Nails, I'm going to be sending out an email to explain this to everybody. If you do order from Love Nails and you've seen that there is a new ship protection, I think is what it's called. It's a shipping insurance. So here's the deal. Our shipping rates went up $2 to $4 per box. And in order for us to not pass that cost along to you guys, we need a way to cover the insurance for broken bottles and stuff. So what this does is it allows us to have insurance for your orders. So that's how you insure your order. But it's based on your order size. And that way, if you have a small order, it's a very small insurance, whereas a larger order would have a little bit, maybe, I think I shipped a $1,000 order and I think it was $4. So it's really not a huge change in price, but it helps us not have to pass along the shipping increases that we've gotten in the last couple of months. So if you're wondering what that is, it's going to automatically be selected on your order. If you unselect it, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for me to be replacing bottles. That's why we put it on there, is to help if any bottles get broken, because I swear that UPS and USPS likes to play hockey with our boxes.
And then not ring the damn doorbell.
Yeah, they do things. And so just to make sure that boxes are coming through, otherwise we would have to pass that along and our shipping would go up. So that's what the ship protection is. I noticed it's only been going for a couple of weeks it's been up. And we had Route, but Route was a little bit more complicated for people to actually get things replaced. So ship protection, they're really responsive. Someone had a broken bottle show up today. She filled out the form and they're going to be placing a new order with me to get her a new bottle. So it's going to be a much easier way for us to get things replaced when you guys have problems. So that's what that is, so that you guys don't have any increase in shipping costs while we do. All right. That is blended, you guys. We are good to go. Now we just have to top coat.
Okay.
That's the mailman. You put all the mail out?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Dottie asked, what top coat will you be using for this set?
Oh, Luxio Gloss. Always, always. It is my favorite.
Is there any situation where you don't use it?
There is. So if I have someone that stains their nails, say a hairstylist, or in the summer people who tend to self-tan, I will use Ultra Gloss, which is in the pot. That's a non-porous top gloss. You can use it all of the time if you want to, except for when you're doing just a standard gel manicure. If you do standard gel manicures, which I don't do, you would not want to use Ultra Gloss because it is not flexible and you would see shattering and cracking. But because we have a hard gel base, you could definitely use it on any fill or any 30-day manicure if you're using your Trinity as your base. You will not see the shattering. So I have a hairstylist. I always use it on her unless she's doing a dark color, and then she's not going to see any problems anyway. But if I see the reflection, it's so cool. I know. I'm easily amused.
It's all good.
Yeah. So I use Ultra Gloss, or if someone, has white nails and they're like worried that they're going to be using self-tanner, if they're like, if I use self-tanner, is the white going to stay white? I'll be like, I'm going to make sure it's going to stay white, and I'll switch to the other top coat. So that is how I make that happen. So So again, I'm blending it. I really like how this turns into a purple in the middle. But again, I'm pushing my brush down on the tip just to make sure that that purple just kind of stops short of the blue, because I don't want to lose my icy blue tip. So again, if you ordered the new collection, I should have them next week. I will do a product launch video, and everyone who's pre-ordered, those will go out as soon as I get them in. I promise. All right, so Luxio Gloss. This is my go-to gloss for all day, every day. I like it better than Shine On because I can gloss it just a slightly bit thicker. Shine On runs, and also if you put it on too thick, you could get spikes. Like literally, it cures so fast that it could spike up through the top. It's really weird. Like if there's an air bubble in there. It's the most interesting thing. But you don't have that ever with Luxio Gloss. So I do use Shine On toes. That's how I see the spike sometimes, because if I do put it too thick on a toe, then I'll see it. But I like that I can gloss this over really nicely, and it does stay just crazy good and shiny.
Jessica White joined and said hello, and it's so pretty.
Aw, thanks, Jess.
Hello there.
She's a frozen popsicle.
I know.
Would you like to tell everybody how cold it is where you are today, Jessica White? Because you're a crazy person and moved to Maine. It's freaking freezing.
I know.
So sometimes when I do nails this long, if I've added extra gloss because I'm encasing anything, I will actually do the 4 nails here, flash cure for 2 seconds before I do the thumb, because as her gloss has been sitting on her nail, it's getting warmer. When gel gets warmer, it gets runnier, and so I don't want it to run into the sidewalls. I want it to stay put, and to make sure it does, I'm going to flash it before I do.
All right. I'm ready.
The thumb.
Boom.
So we're going to go 3 seconds.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
They let me get a drink anyway.
Yep.
That's when y'all drink your drink. All right. Not that kind of drink. Come on, people.
It's Friday.
Cocktail hour is not started yet.
It's Friday, baby.
We got 2 weeks to go. 2.5. All right. And through the front. Nice and shiny and gorgeous and smooth. You guys see that line of light? Ah. All right.
Sexy.
Yes, and then we will go through and quickly do some underwear so you guys can see what that's about.
I love when we get the panties. Yes, that's wonderful.
It is currently 11 degrees.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just too damn cold.
That ain't it.
Jody says, I messed up again. I thought the Shine On was the no stain top coat.
It's not. Some people feel like it's good enough. But the absolute no stain top coat is definitely Ultra Gloss because it's completely non-porous. You do use a brush to put it on. It's in a pot, but it is, it's my favorite. I would say if you're on, say you have like a 1 to 10, this would probably be a 5 as far as staining compared to something that was super porous, because it isn't super porous. Like a shellac is extremely porous. Why? Because it has to soak off so fast. This is not designed to soak off quite as fast as a shellac. So say if you were talking about stainability, out of a 10, a shellac's probably like a 2, and this is probably a 5, and Shine On maybe is a 7, but Ultra Gloss is a 10. So if that helps explain the whole stainability situation when it comes to porous and non-porous. I have a little bit excess more than I needed. Got a little bit excited about it. Mm-hmm. Flash that for me, please.
Gail says hello.
Hello, Gail.
And also, Jessica said that they're also getting 2 feet of snow tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that. So I hope y'all are like ready to hunker down. See, I think my biggest problem, and I was telling Jared this last night when we were discussing this 2 feet of snow situation. So my biggest problem is that our mail would not come pick up orders, and people would get so mad at me. And my lovely people in Puerto Rico would not understand why their order did not go out for a week because no one could get through the snow. So, I mean, as long as the mailman picked up, it'd be all fine and dandy, but I have a feeling that would be the main problem. All right, so come on out.
Here we go.
So this has been a longer appointment today because we're all just hanging out.
Yes,
and we're
party
doing
time.
stuff. But if I was on a time limit, because I'm not, she's my last one today, then I would have to speed things up a little bit more. So I'm just getting through on the sides, making sure that everything is shaped how I want. Alright, so first I'm going to take my sanding band. And thin out my free edge.
Dottie is looking at the website and she cannot decide what colors she wants.
Yeah, good luck. I can't help you with that because I had to have them all. That's why my basket's so full. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and take another bit. So I like to use this one. And these are these blue Carbides. I do have these on my site. I just got another shipment in, so if they're showing sold out, let me know and I will update it.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to give her underwear. And to do that, I need to prep what she's got going on. So I'm just going in. Oh, you can't see anything. Sorry, guys. This camera angle, I tell you, it's good, but it's also a bit of a pain. All right. So I'm going through, and it's really rounded here, so it's not going to hurt her. But it lets you smooth this out. And if you need to, which I don't think I'm going to need to do underwear, actually. We're getting these really smooth. Okay. If we needed to, like say someone does stain their nails a lot, she really doesn't. But if someone did, this would be a really good thing to just use a coat of Trinity. And you can brush a coat of Trinity on the nail. But this lets you get it all prepped. I know, it's really awkward position. But you can see there's a little bit of lifting there. She doesn't need that nail there now that we've just restructured everything. So I'm going to remove that little bit of lifted nail because the last thing you want to do is have your clients pick that out, because what happens when they pick your nail out from underneath is it causes the entire rest of the nail to lift. So you're not going to have to do this process very often. Right. I do it maybe once every, 6 months or something? It's been a while. I don't do it too often, but it smooths everything out under the nail and you get a much better finish. Yeah. Alrighty, my friends. Some oil. I just added a bunch of new oils on my website as well. There's over 200 new products, and I'm trying to figure out how to make my new arrivals section show everything. They're not showing everything. It shows like 50, and there was over 200 products I put on there. So y'all look around, because there is new stuff from Cuccio, there's new stuff from Ugly Duckling, there's new stuff from everybody. So spend some time, hang out on the store. There is new everything. And it's only showing the last 50 that I put on there. So there's well over 200. So lots of new Stay-Licks. But there we go, darling. I'm going to do the other hand the exact same. I'm going to move this camera out of my way to do it. But if you tilt fingers, you guys see how it really picks up the light. Like, it's so cool. So thank you all for joining us. I will try to get this up on YouTube soon for my YouTube followers. But enjoy shopping. Grab these new colors while they are in stock because they are fabulous. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you learned some tricks. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Yes.